Hi, everybody. Welcome to the swamp. Welcome to my lovely guest, Nate, for our monthly Date with Nate show. So, I don't know, it just rolled off my tongue one day, and I thought, oh, that rhymes. That's kind of cool. So,
Hey, Sherry,
he
thank you
got
for having me. Yeah.
he got stuck with the title. So Nate, what are you up to? What's going on with you? Shows, stuff, collaborations,
Yeah.
whatever.
So I have a member shows today at 2 p.m. Eastern for members. I do my weekly show on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. It's open to everyone, personal questions. I do
Those are
have
fun.
those are fun. I do have a class on July 26th
I
on.
marked it in my calendar.
Yes, and it is related about abundance and money magic and how to manifest money
And I
into your.
need lots of that.
Yeah. What of us do. So yeah, that's a 2 hour class, and it can be you people can attend or download the class if they can't be available that day.
Or
So
both.
so
You
that
can
that
attend and then download it and watch it again and again
yeah.
and again until you get it all. So, yeah.
So we'll look into kind of everything spiritually related. We look at crystals, at herbs, at feng shui, all the different techniques to kind of bring the abundance and the money in people's
Oh,
lives. So
cool. Oh,
really
that sounds
exciting.
good.
And then last but not least, I've been working on an oracle deck. It's the
Yay.
voices of the whales. Soon, very soon, a matter of days, weeks, for order, and I will be using them today from time to time.
Yeah. And my copy should be showing up anytime. So, the next time we're together, we'll both be able to use it.
Yes.
That's what I'm hoping for. So, that'll be fun. Um, and I got a gift this week. Oops. I'm going to drop stuff in the process. Let's I'm already starting out dropping things. The United States of Tarot. So this was gifted to me by Angela Cardamancy Mesquite, who contacted me and said, "Do you have this deck?" I said, "No, I can't find it anywhere anymore. Everybody says it's out of stock." She says, "I got a spare one. I'm sending it to you." So I was like, "Yay!"
Nice.
And it's an updated version. So I know when I went through it and started looking at all the cards, it's like most of their choices of who they put with certain cards, I'm like, yeah, that fits. And there's a couple of them I was like, I have to think about that one for a little bit. Yeah. But just to let y'all know, where is this is the skincare that we've been all talking about. Andrew, and I cannot pronounce his last name. It's like a 10-mile long Greek word. Um, he's Greek, but he's the creator, designer, blah, 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 business owner of Androniki. And he's going to be my guest in what's Saturday? Next Saturday. He's going to be my guest next Saturday. He's going to come on so he can talk about the spirituality behind him doing this, which ties into his late grandmother and kind of what drove him in this direction. He's a very religious, very spiritual man, very sweet, and I love his products. Oh my God, they work beautifully, male or female, black or white, it doesn't matter. It's just skincare stuff, and it's compared to what you would buy in a department store or a specialty store for women's makeup and skincare, it's a fraction of the cost of what you would pay for top dollar moisturizers and cleansers and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, go check out his website and see what all they offer. And then the other website I've been pushing is electiontruthalliance.org. This is a group of computer forensic experts who have been going through the 2024 election and have found massive evidence of fraud. They've even been able to replicate how it was done. And they're a nonprofit. So if you want to contribute, donate to them, that would be greatly appreciated. I don't get anything for talking about it, but it's amazing the information that they have managed to uncover. And you're like, holy crap, they really did do it. I mean, there's like no question in my mind now. There's several of these organizations that are doing the same thing, and they kind of get together periodically, and share information. Well, I found this, well, we found that. One of the groups is the one that's handling the Rockland, New York lawsuit for that county, because it showed that every vote went to Trump, and it's a heavily Democratic county, with the majority of the people who live there saying, that's not possible. I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Kamala. And you have no votes for Kamala? How is that possible? And so a lawsuit has been filed, and they're in the process of trying to get the ballots and the information so they can go in and do their things. So check that out. And okay, I'm through hawking stuff. So let's get this show on the road. I wanted to mention Andrew's stuff because he's coming on next week. I know a lot of people are like, why are you always talking about it? Because it works. And no, I don't get anything off of that either. It just, I'm doing it because I'm sold on the product. And of course, with the election thing, what's amazing are these groups, and there's like several states around the country that are, I think, getting ready to start filing lawsuits where they have found evidence of fraud and they've been able to replicate how they did it. And what's amazing to me is legacy media, regular news organizations are starting to talk about it. And not in oh, this is a bunch of BS. They're starting to talk about it seriously, like, oh my God, this may have been stolen. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I think they're gonna get the information they need for all of this, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. I feel like the proverbial crap is gonna hit the fan before summer's over. What about you, Nate? How do you feel on that? Do you think they're gonna
Well, I feel like there will be more information released that I feel. I just not sure how much or how late is it in the game so that we can change the outcome, because really the problem is the outcome. And I know this feels like a long time, but the midterms are coming. It doesn't feel soon enough, but they're coming. And so I don't know which one will come first, really, in terms of organized way. Yes, of course, there will be a lot of information out there, but think about it, even if it's, and we know lawsuits take time and all of that, but even if the information is out there prior to the midterms, this is enough to change some people's minds. And I've been saying this on every show now. If we only change 5% of the votes from the MAGA people, that's enough votes to split the other way, to push the scale the other way, 5%.
Exactly.
So it doesn't take much.
No, it doesn't. I mean, it's I think that, and a lot of the evidence that I've seen them, showcase with this organization here is the fact that you have entire counties or cities or districts, however it's broken up in that state, that are all like the presidential section. Everybody there voted for Trump, and everything else below it was all for Democrats. It's like, who does that? Nobody
No,
does that. You know, if they're voting Republican for the president,
down ballot.
they're normally down ballot. They're going to be voting for all Republican and vice versa. And so uh, there's been, I heard talk. I don't know how accurate it is because I haven't been able to find the video that I saw on it. Um, uh, Talking about there were extra ballots added in. So it's like, okay, yeah, you can't be adding in extra ballots, you know, from an election. So that means either their count's going to be way off to what's registered, or they had to get rid of votes, one or the other. I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Um, and I want to say real quick, happy birthday to Snapdragon. Today is her birthday, so
Happy birthday, Snapdragon.
I won't sing. That's your gift. So you don't want to hear that, so trust me on this. So a big happy birthday, and oh, one other thing I wanted to bring up, and I'm going to bring it up again tonight for the slumber party. When making comments, everyone is encouraged to express themselves and how they feel about a certain topic or a certain issue or whatever. I don't like go around banning people for making comments that I don't agree with. I can count on one hand the comments that I have ever removed from any of my shows, and it was usually because it was something really, really, really ugly or something that was belittling or punching down on another commenter. And that I won't tolerate. You know, it just, you can express you should feel free to express how you think, whether if I agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. But if you start attacking other people or getting really personal and ugly about things, I will go in and remove your comment. Like I said, I've done it a handful of times. And if it continues, I will block you. But just because somebody posts something of how they think about it doesn't give anybody else the right to go in and all gang up on that poster and start attacking, you know, because you disagree. Okay, you disagree, no big deal. But everybody's free to express their opinions as they see fit. And it was brought to my attention this morning that a commenter had made a comment and a handful of people all like jumped on her and just borderline crossing the line for me of how they were responding to her. And I was like, I am so sorry that happened. Please feel free to express yourself. As in, I'm going to address this and just let people know that's just not going to be tolerated. You know, we're all adults here. We can act like adults. We can agree to disagree if we see things differently. That's okay too. I don't expect us to be in a bubble and we don't agree on it. We don't disagree on anything because that's not going to happen either. But you can be respectful about it. If you disagree with someone, or if you disagree with me, or with a guest I may have on, you can certainly say, I don't see it that way. That's not what I believe, whatever. That's fine, as long as you're courteous and respectful in it. Then I don't step in because you're allowed your opinion. But fair warning, if you get ugly, I will ban you. That simple. So, you know, and I don't like saying that because I've never, ever had to do that to anyone. And so don't be the first, I guess would be the way to put it. Don't be the first one that I have to ban because you get ugly. So, and not that I really expect any of our regulars to be that way. You know, it unfortunately she deleted her comment, which means I couldn't go in and see who responded to it to see was it someone that was a regular? Was it someone that first time popping in? You know, and it's like, yeah, it's just, that's not cool. So, like I said, we're all adults, whether if we want to cancel the subscription to adulthood or not. We're still all grown up, so let's act like it. And we can agree to disagree. Okay, I'm gonna quit being a downer now. Um, and let's see. Oh, hippie says, any will, yeah, all night long, and nothing but fireworks. The dogs were freaking out. They hate that. Um, our dogs like really trip out about it, so it's a little
Most
weird.
dogs are. Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, yeah. When I got my hair cut a couple of weeks ago, I had them do bangs, and then now I'm like, I kind of remember now why I didn't have bangs for a long time because they can be very annoying. But if I have time to make them do right, it's fine. But most of the time they get pushed back and clipped, and it's so hot that I've got my hair up in a ponytail. So, um, okay, hippie's asking, was Anonymous supposed to release something? They kept putting out they were going to release something on July 3rd, but I've not seen anything major released, just a repeat of things they've already said.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Nathe, if you had ever read on it or gotten anything on that.
No, I'm waiting to see if anything's released, but I don't think anything major has been released lately.
Not at all. I mean, uh, the only major events I can think of besides Dumpy Pants signing that horrific bill is there was a massive flash flood in Texas. Um, the unalived count is over 13, 14, and they're expecting to find more. There's still 20 something people missing. Evidently, there was a girls' retreat camp going on there in Texas, and the whole camp got washed out. They don't know if any of them survived or not. They haven't found any survivors yet or bodies yet. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And then I just saw this morning they had a mass shooting in Indianapolis last night. Evidently, they're, the downtown, they do the fireworks thing and whatnot. And from what I saw, evidently somebody showed up and just started shooting people. And
I
they
was
don't
afraid of
know.
that.
And it was kids. And it was kids. So one kid is unalived. They didn't make it. Several more in intensive care. Um, don't know who the shooter was. They didn't say anything about the shooter, so I don't know. What I didn't see any information on the shooter. So again, that's what I was afraid of. I think we
Yep.
talked about it last time we were together, Nathan, seeing
Yep. And I mentioned that on a
something.
couple of shows. I was seeing violence. Yeah. I
Yeah,
see in the
yeah,
chat, going back to the girls' camp, Patricia and Hippie Hiker mentioning one girl was found 12 miles away in a tree. 12 miles away.
yeah. That
That's
water hits you, and it's like get hit by a brick wall. You can't swim against it. You can't
no.
move against it. I mean, you go wherever it takes you. I've personally have never experienced it, but I have certainly been in areas when we've had flash flood warnings and see what can happen, as well as storm surges that come in with hurricanes, which do the same thing. And it's not per se the water that's the most dangerous. It's all the debris that gets picked up and shoved along with it. I mean, look at a tsunami like the one they had in,
Oh,
was it 2001, 2002 there in Sri Lanka? I mean, you could see the videos. It wasn't just the water coming in. It was It was cars and buildings and
the force.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to fight against having half of a building thrown at you, you know. So
Yeah.
it's, you know, when they whenever you are issued flash flood warnings in your area, stay home, stay where it's safe.
Mm.
Don't get out in your car to go try to see it. Don't, you know, try to get out in the middle of it, because you may be the one that gets caught in unalived or just seriously injured. And that's a horrible way to be. So,
Yeah.
All right, I'm scanning here looking for questions. Y'all feel free to put your questions in. Just use caps so I don't miss it.
And it's, I think we're doing political or personal, right? Anything
Either
goes.
anything goes. Whatever you want to ask, just ask. Okay, here we go. First question, Marari. Nathe, where you are at, do people think that the orange one is a legitimate U.S. president? Oh, that's a good question.
And I assume, because I'm in Europe, and I think Mirari wants to know, like, how is it considered? I
Yeah.
would say there's been no considerations from or talk about the elections cheating or stealing or stolen or anything like that. This is just not a topic. Um, but there's more a topic about the damage that is doing. Um, and trying to understand. I think if you look at it from a foreign perspective, of course, there's all the horrible things that he does, but there's no logic. And so it's very hard to kind of understand, it's like if you look at him like a chess player, usually when you play chess, you have an idea of you're going to do this first move and then this move and then this move, and you really can't really see anything. Like I just saw yesterday, like he's back to putting 70% on tariffs when I thought we were in a phase where there was negotiations.
Yeah.
Or like if you go back with Iran, let's give us a 2 weeks period, and then on day 2 it's bombing. So nothing makes sense.
Yeah, it's really sad just to see it, you know, as well as infuriating at the same time. I mean, what was it, the last big leadership meeting between in the EU with the G7, and there were world leaders that were making fun of Dumpy Pants and laughing in his face about stuff, and they were making it a joke about his followers now call him daddy, and they were making fun of it, and Trump left the meeting thinking that they were praising it because people were calling him daddy. And I'm like, how disconnected are you? I don't want to go back in his brain again. I know that much.
No.
I'm still trying to get off of that, get over that one.
It's a trauma that's still going on for you.
It's an ongoing trauma. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's go. Connie's first. And would like to know, is there a message from her ancestors? Okay. And while Nate shuffles to read, I'm going to finish starring and then I'll read.
And I'll get started so we get going. So the message that I get, I'm using this new deck actually that I created, the whales, the voices of the whale, and it's called Reflections. Reflections. And so the message from your ancestors, I believe, is that this is a time for you to really reflect on what is important for you, what you want to do, kind of almost like thinking of like the top 2-3 things that are very important for you. Your ancestors want you happy, they want you to focus, and they really want you to reflect on the values and the directions that you want to take now into your life. I feel intuitively that you're in a phase of transition, and it's very important that you set the direction right before you make any move. And so I think you're really at that moment of setting the direction.
See what I got here. I'm pulling from the Sisterhood of the Seers Oracle.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm learning this deck, so I pulled Activate the Sisterhood. And basically, what this saying is that better than you could imagine, soul connections, handling any problems over to spirit, success, joy, celebration, friendship, and community. You call on your fellow sisters to help you bring that into existence. Because you're looking at joy, celebration, friendship, community. These are all important things, important relationships. And this is simply saying activate the sisterhood around you. And that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be another woman. It could be a guy if you know a guy that prays with you or manifests with you. I say this is a call to contact anyone and everyone to come out and do their thing. So
Well, she's saying that her novel has 4 girls that grow to be sisters. So that's really on point, Sherry.
there you go. There you go. Let's see here. Next up, we've got Nancy Teagan. Hi, Nancy. And student loans forgiven once Trump leaves. Yes. That's what they just said. Yes.
Yeah. The Page of Wands would be the younger folks, so that would make sense. Also, the wand is the forward movement. So yes, I would say yes as well.
Will student loans be forgiven once Trump leaves office? Oh, that's a very big yes. Took off going. So, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Ricky Rowe. I like that. When will my SSDI appeal be approved? Oh Lord, those take so long.
And from what I'm hearing, it's like nothing gets approved right away. It's always through an appeal.
Yes. We went through that when my husband was disabled, and it took months, and it took getting a lawyer to go in and represent us because it was like talking to the wall before we got an attorney. So I would definitely get an attorney. They have attorneys that specialize in just this kind of thing. And let's see. Any more shuffles here. Because I'm using a brand new deck, y'all. So what's it called? The Gilded Tarot Royale. So it's a really cool deck. I like this.
I'll get started in the meantime.
Go ahead
Yeah.
and get going.
Okay. I got the Ten of Swords, so you feel like it's not moving forward, like there seems to be slowness or blocks. And I would agree with Sherry. The next card is Justice. So there's really seems to connect with some sort of legal support here to push things, because I feel you need that. The final card is the Chariot, so there's forward movement, but I think you're gonna need some help. I really do. Um, Look, the Chariot is 7. Um, it could be July next year or in 7 months, but I don't feel this is coming soon, and I do feel, Ricky Road, that you need some legal support. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got the Tower. So that means lots of change coming. But it may create an upheaval waiting for it to go through. And then I drew the Hierophant, which that's just representing the rules and regulations of how this is all done. There's a certain process you go through, and they automatically deny. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone getting accepted their first go round. Most people go 3, 4, 5 go rounds before they finally get either a court date to be on the docket and talk about it, or before a decision is made. So, and then the last card I drew was the Three of Cups. So that tells me that while I don't know how soon it's going to happen, I mean, this tells me you're going to be having a happy dance when it does, because they're going to go in your favor. So, yeah, that's I hope that resonates with you, Ricky. Okay, Canadian Chick is up next. My guides and spiritual team are giving me every sign to progress.
Yeah, Page of Cups, you've been getting new opportunities, new abilities. It's almost like with this idea of a child, like you activating something completely new. I think there's also the fun of discovering your new abilities. I think they're saying have fun with it. Six of Swords is your journey. I think you're on a journey to learn and help others. Um, a new perspective. This is the Hangman, but going this way, I think you're going to be looking at humanity and help humanity look at things a different perspective. The Magician, this is you. I feel like you bring something new to the table. You bring a different perspective. You are there because of your abilities, but also the way that you look at things. And I feel like one of your key skills is to help people with their problems and look at their situation a bit of a different way, so then they can move forward.
Very good. All right, the first thing I got was the Moon. So stuff is coming to light, but it's still being kind of covered up. You get moonlight, you can kind of see basically what's around you, but you don't see clearly what's around you. So I think that's what, starting out with this, you're being shown to try to clear away any of the misconceptions that could be involved in the decision-making process, to make sure that all the facts are straight and out there and everything's good. And then I got the Nine of Swords. So that is, it feels to me like that is what that's what keeps you up at night. That's why you're not sleeping, is because you've got you've got all these knives, all these swords hanging over your head. And so I don't remember what the actual meaning of that card is, but just looking at the picture, I mean, it almost looks like death up here in the very top, very faint, like it's a ghostly figure of somebody that's bringing this burden onto you that you can't even sleep at night. So, and then the last card I got was death. And so that's not necessarily a bad card. It's just saying that there's going to be some changes, some possible upheaval, but to be diligent about what direction you want to go in, and then respond to go along with it, you know. And just, you know, as far as progressing your abilities, just continue to ask spirit to just show you what's next, show me what you want me to learn, you know. Put the right people in my path for what it is that I need to learn next. I think the majority of readers that I know of are more than happy to, you know, schedule a private session with someone and then go over all the different avenues they can take to try to grow their gifts. But I think the number one thing is, have absolute faith that that's what you're being called to do. So do it, and then do it. Follow through on it, you know. So especially when it comes to helping others, I mean, that is probably the most self-sacrificing type of reading you can give someone, or just help that you can give someone, is opening yourself up to what spirit needs them to know, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it very clearly. So I hope that helps, Canadian chick. All right, let's see. Pegasus. Where will my very smart granddaughter Olivia go to college?
Oh, where? Like, I don't see her going to a city. It feels a little bit more suburban, outside the city.
That makes sense, yeah.
And is she, like, I see a lot of writing, so I don't know if it's like she's into communication or law, or I see writing, like, you know, where writing and communication is important for what she does. For obviously for all students and going to college, everyone write, but I'm talking specifically on the topic of communication. What did you get, Sherry?
Makes sense. Okay. Starting out, I got the Page of Wands. So you're looking at news, information. Put it so y'all can see the card. You're looking at news, information that is going to help her decide where she goes. I'm not being given a name, but I feel like what Nate was saying, it's not going to be like just a state university. It's going to be something more specialized, because then I drew the King of Wands. So that's telling me that she's going to be in a specialized field with her abilities, with her intellect level. There are going to be universities wanting to snatch her up. You know, she needs to apply for every scholarship, anything that any university she's interested in offers. so that she has the options of looking through and finding the best fit for her. And then I ended with the 10 of Pentacles. And that's kind of cool. That's a chest full of emeralds. That tells me she's gonna come out smelling like a rose here. But yeah, it's very much very much about doors are going to open for her just because of her intellect. So it's not like nobody's going to want her to come to their school. They're going to be making offers. So okay, let's see. We just answered that one from Peg. L. Thompson, should Democrats take money from Elon, or is it too dirty? Yes and yes. Yes, it's too dirty, but you know what? Sometimes you got to get in the mud in order to win the battle.
I would say yes.
Yeah.
It is clearly dirty, but do we have a choice right now? Can we afford to not to take resources that are coming our way?
Yes, exactly. Because what I'm feeling is just simply that you got to fight fire with fire, and so that means you got to get down in the mud and the muck and in order to win, and then you can step back on your morals and say, no, we don't tolerate that anymore. You can't make donations and that kind of thing anymore. So
Well, the other side doesn't play fair, so we're not in a position
exactly.
to play fair.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Sue asks, what is my birth angel's name?
I'm not good with names, so
the few times I've read on this kind of question for people, I always get told that's between
you and your angels.
you and your angels. And then having the ability to really kind of step back and listen. Yeah, that's something you're going to have to just talk to them about. They're not saying anything. Hell, I don't even know my guides' names. When I asked, they just said, you can't pronounce it. Like, okay, be that way. So I just call them my guides. I mean, you can make up names for them if you want, not everybody. Thank you, Acadian Proud. Oh, welcome, Sherry. I just had a new member join. Yay. Yeah.
I also
go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, but think about it. What is really important for you? You want to build your relationship with your angels. How important is their name as opposed to the message you get from them or the energy you get from them? So names, I can understand. I mean, a name is important, but think of all the other aspects that are important.
Yeah. There's just so many different opportunities there. And it's going to be between you and your birth angels. Okay, let's see. Rose said, on Midas Touch today, Iran threatened to release White House emails they have hacked. Yay. I would like to see that. Let's go over here. Let's get the right deck for this one.
Will they release the emails?
First thing I drew, and it says, no. Kind of to the point, isn't it? Environment concerns. I don't know where that would fit in. Intimidation tactics.
Mm.
There you go. That's what's cooking on that one. I'm done.
I got the Chariot, so something still seems to go forward. So, and then I have the Fool. To me, it's like him looking like a fool. So maybe they're not released, but something happens where it's not released, but there's some leaking information that makes him look like a fool. I don't think they have to release them. I think they'll be happy just to leak them to some other people.
Yeah.
I don't think they would release because they just got bombed and I'm sure they want a break, but they can strategically put a few things out there. I feel more like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that resonates really, really strong with me. So, okay, Yaz. Does my daughter Lauren have a sinister presence in her flat? Pinch question. Does Yaz's daughter have a sinister presence in her home? Oh my, we're going in a circle. Let's be more. Does Yaz's daughter Lauren come into contact with an evil presence on a regular basis? And for that, I'm getting a yes. So it may not be in her house, but she's attracting the energy, which could follow her home. I mean, and just give her a hard time when she's at home. That's what I'm getting.
I got the Seven of Swords. To me, there's like some negative energy out there. Maybe in the home. I would really suggest, for when I see situation like this, to take a salt bath, cleanse and clear those energies.
Yep. I'm not sure where your daughter stands on the woo-woo, but I would say sage where she lives, inside and out, whether if it's with a smudging stick, and the smoke, or whether if it's just with a bottle of sage, sage and other oils or fragrances, I guess you could call it.
And ask them to leave. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You can name it and claim it. You can flat out tell them you are not welcome here and you must leave now.
And ask them to go to the light. We just go to the light.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. Who's next here? Oh, actually, Arthur bought that for me for, I think it was my birthday last year. He had started fussing at me about I needed to look more professional. And so to hide what's behind me and not be looking at my bed and my bedroom and all the junk that's back there. And I said, yeah, I've been shopping around for a screen, trying to find one that I like. And a couple of days later, he calls me on the phone and says, you got a package coming on Thursday, I think it was. He said, so that's your screen. He ordered it for me as a gift. But he got it on Amazon. So, and it's fairly nice. I mean, it folds up. You got to put it together when it comes in. But I've had it for a little over a year now. It's still hanging in there. And it gets opened and closed daily. So I know a lot of people are like, wow, it still works. I'm like, pretty much, yeah. Okay, Pegasus. Why have we not heard from Anonymous yet with something striking, revealing?
I mean,
question.
what I got was that it's just like the information just not all there.
Yeah.
They're working on it. 3 of Pentacles. It's just not all ready to be packaged and presented.
That makes sense. Somebody's chiming. That one wasn't me. Okay, let's see here. Started out, I got cyclone damage, and I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? But we just had a round of tornadoes that went through the Midwest and did a lot of damage. Currently, that's what's causing a lot of places to have all these floods, is because of that storm. And then I pulled a solution to the problem. So yeah, that yes, it's they're still looking for all the answers, like Nate was saying. They don't have all the answers yet. And then the last card I pulled was fake news. So be careful what you believe or what you think is happening, because they're going to try to, I'm not 100% sold on Anonymous anyway, because some of their videos they show are very anti-democratic. So I've seen a mix of both. Now, maybe it's a different. There may be more than one Anonymous out there. Is somebody on the right trying to impersonate Anonymous? So I would say anything is possible, but mainly I just feel like because they don't have everything they need yet. Just like the election fraud people, they know it's happened, they know how it was done, they can replicate it, but they're still having to pull evidence before they can take it into a court of law and say, this is an absolute truth, what I found out and know about. And that's what I got. That's it. Did you already read on this one?
Yeah, right away.
Okay.
I said I didn't have the
That's right. I couldn't. I was reading the chat. I start reading and I tune out, Okay, Julie. Will I be a spiritual teacher through my art or another way? Or is that even my path? Well, no two people are going to walk the same path exactly alike. going to learn or teach the same exact way.
I got the Page of Cups and the Moon. To me, you are already and you will be a spiritual teacher, but not just from your art. I felt like yes, your art is part of this, but I feel also just your intuition, your your writing, your all your abilities that are coming through. And so I think I would change the word art with creativity. It's kind of the same thing, but to me, it resonates differently. So I would say spiritual teacher through your creativity. It's a little bit more than art.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I started out with the Five of Wands, so there's competition in any kind of art, in any way that you may look at something or how something is to be done. It's that's normal, that's healthy. You would want that because that drives you to become a better artist, or a better spiritual teacher. Um, and then I pulled the Lovers. So you're looking at developing that relationship with spirit to help push you forward. And with that, you got to really open yourself up to that relationship. And then lastly, I pulled the Two of Swords. And so I feel like when push comes to shove, there's just going to be some hard decisions you have to make. But I think that if you're listening to what spirit wants you to do, they're going to give you the information to help you make that choice. And because that's a very noble thing to want to teach others. And your artwork, your voice may be the only thing that somebody out there hears or resonates with. So every voice is important, regardless. Oh, thank you, Viviani. All right, let's see. She made a donation to go with her question.
A message about how things will go for me next week.
All right, let's see what we get. It's a brand new deck, y'all. It's hard to shuffle. The cards are so slick, they want to fly everywhere.
Vivian, I got the King of Swords, which talks about decisions, but also stability. The Four of Wands, which is kind of a happy card, happiness, but also solidity as well, like a positive event. And then I got the Moon and Temperance, which says patience, kind of letting things flow. And so next week should go well for you, getting to a much better position, better, I feel like you will feel more stable with your life. They just want you to take it easy, to go with the flow. Really, the Moon and the Temperance, the angel of mercy here, like protecting you, and just, I think you just want to relax about your week and just go within, considering that things should go well and okay.
Yeah. First thing I pulled was the King of Swords. Yeah,
Oh,
the King of
so
Swords.
I
Isn't
got
that
that.
what you pulled? You
Yes.
got that one too. Yeah. So, you know, um, making it just feels this feels very positive for whatever it is you've got coming up. It just feels like a very positive outcome is going to hit you. And then I got the Knight of Wands. And so, you've got your confidence, be fearless. Whatever it is that you're facing, that you're going through, do it with absolute confidence that you're the right person, your idea is the right idea. Not to belittle others, but just that that this is your path, this is what you need to do, and then do it. And then the last thing I pulled was the Ace of Wands. That's new beginnings. That's starting out fresh. Yeah, I got nothing but positive cards on this for you. So I think everything's going to go hopefully the way you want it to.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hippie had people born after 1960 get grandfathered in for full SS retirement benefits at age 67. Or will it continue to be age 67? Ooh, that's a good question. Let's see. See, that's me. I was born the year after that. I know that if I retire at 67, I won't get as much money out of my Social Security as I will if I hold off until I turn 70, then claim it. I'll get a significant amount more. But that's under the current system right now. So, did you go?
Yeah, not yet, but I wanted to
go ahead.
To go.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Three of Pentacles, first one up. So you're looking at teamwork, working together on stuff. Studying all the different for full SS retirement. For right now, I really feel hippie like it's going to continue to be pushed back. They're pushing really hard to change retirement age to 70. Because you can still work when you're 70. Not if you're a bricklayer or a construction worker. You're going to get out there in that heat at the age of 70 and be laying bricks or building houses or whatnot. It's not like we're talking about people sitting in an air-conditioned office. But then I got the sun. And so I think this is just telling us that it's going to depend upon who we get into office next. Are we going to be able to flip the House votes, flip those results around, or do something to change them? Yeah, that's all. Oh, I have one more card. Sorry. Wheel of Fortune. So, what goes around comes around. And it just feels like things will eventually change to where we will be eligible to get our retirement and everything at an earlier age so people can actually enjoy their retirement. But it's going to take a bit, and it's not going to happen in this administration by any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I got the Seven of Swords, which is kind of a sword in your back, it's backstabbing. It's going to be pushed again in the near future, and then we'll have to see after. But right now, unfortunately, I don't. I think it will be pushed up.
All right, let's see here. All right, we got about 5 more minutes, y'all, before we have to cut this off because Nate has other obligations. And so we have to make sure he gets out in time to meet those obligations. If we don't get to you, come back tonight for the slumber party and I'll get to you then. I'm going to have Selena, Essence of the Moon. She's going to be my co-host for tonight. So that'll be exciting. First time we're reading together. I like her. She's really sweet. And
Sherry, you might want to take Millet, who donated as well.
I see that. I was just looking at that. Miley, there we go. Thank you for your donation very much. My son applied to Meredith DO school.
2 weeks ago.
It just got to start July. It's new, just pre-accredited.
First offer, should you accept or wait?
Well, you can always change your mind. I mean, what's a DO? What does DO mean? I don't know what that is.
Is it medical? I was just getting medical, but maybe I'm off here.
Okay, Meredith DO school. Oh, School of Osteopathic Medicine. Okay. Is this something that he really wants to do, or is this something that's kind of like, well, if I can't get this, I'll go into this? I think that would weigh heavily as to whether if he takes it or not.
I don't think that he should accept. I'm not getting cards that really suggest that. I feel that, well, it is a good offer, but I feel like he would really get something better. He has opportunities to get better. I can show you my card, but the Hangman is kind of weight. The Hermit is kind of also has that weight energy. And the Five of Swords, it's like it's battling whether he should join or not. So I'm personally leaning more towards wait.
Yeah, look at my cards. I think that's going to be the answer to that. I started out with the Queen of Swords, so we're looking at him making a mature, logical decision over this. And I would suggest strongly that he looks at all the pros and cons, but make sure that exactly what it is he's wanting to do, that this is going to be his best fit. So yeah, I'm thinking hang back and wait and see what else comes out. And then I got the Eight of Wands. That's kind of like restricted. I'm holding the card down really low. That's telling me wait. And then I got the Hermit. That's also telling me to wait. So I would tell him to wait. I mean, get as much information on it as he can. Look at other options and apply for those as well, and then go from there. So,
I mean, on the positive, he's gonna get something great no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Last question for the day. Jason, I have my 7th spinal surgery on my L3 to S1 revision August 6th. Yeah, that's where they're going to be doing my neck surgery, is in that area. Do you see any poor outcomes? Will this finally fuse and keep the screws solid in place? Well, let's hope they can keep the screws where they belong. I mean, I've got steel rod and 6 screws that holds my head up when they fused 4 vertebrae in my neck. And wow, what a difference that made. But then I watched my late husband go through 5 back surgeries in a 14-year time period. And it just kept getting worse. So I think it's a matter of how much pain you're in and how much are they able to say that this, because I know they're talking surgery with me too for the same area, and I keep telling them not quite yet, I'm not quite ready yet. So
Jason, I got the 4 of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles is a very stable, solid, structured energy. So to me, that feels like what you describe with keeping everything solid in place makes more sense, And look how this person like holds their back kind of well. So I would say I don't see any poor outcome. I felt like this is gonna help and kind of have everything solid, stable.
for sure. Well, I got the 10 of Wands. So this is him releasing that burden on his spine by doing this. This is going to make it, because this is being overburdened, carrying a heavy load. When your back is bad, and no one understands this firsthand, it can feel very much like you're hauling a load. Everything you pick up and touch is like, takes massive effort. Sometimes just getting up and walking across the room is an impossibility. I'll be honest. I mean, I've had days where I woke up and literally had to crawl to the bathroom. I couldn't even stand up because my back just locks up on me sometimes. And yeah, I mean, that's I'm getting good vibes, because after that 10 of Wands, then I got the 6 of Swords. So that's calmer waters, that's slow healing. So it may take you a little longer to heal from this than it did any other surgeries you've had. But that's okay. I mean, you do what you need to do to make sure that you heal all the way. And then I got the 3 of Cups. So that's telling me that that's going to be a success in the end. In the long run, that's going to be a success for you. And I know you work really hard at doing your job. So just make sure you have enough money put aside to cover whatever expenses may need to be covered while you're in recovery, and then give yourself enough time to literally be able to recover. Don't push yourself into going back too soon, because that could do more damage than good. But I feel like, yeah, your 7th surgery, so yeah, you get it. I would say if this is going to make a drastic change in your ability to move, to walk, your pain levels, go for it. Yeah, that's what I do. Did you read yet? Yeah, you
Yeah.
read. Yeah, okay. I can never remember that. I ask that with every guest, so it's not just you; it's everybody. I just like, did you go? Usually, because I'm reading and trying to see what's coming up.
I know.
So
I know.
I'm not listening. Um, and Sherry, welcome and thank you for becoming a member. Please send me your email address at Swamp Voices. It's all one word, SWAMPVOICES at gmail.com. That way I have everybody's email address. It makes it harder. It makes it harder. It makes it easier to get in touch with everybody when I do membership meetings because we do that on Zoom. So we can all be on together and actually see each other when we talk to each other. And no, I don't record it. So you don't have to worry about somebody seeing your face on the screen. It's just going to be us and it's not going to be recorded when it's a members meeting. Um, and Nate and I got to get together and do another
Group member.
collaborative group meeting. We did that. Was it Easter? I think
Yes. Yes.
yeah, it was Easter. We did both of our membership groups, and we did a meeting
Yeah.
with both of them together, and we had a lot of fun. Thank you, Jason. That's awfully sweet. He just gifted a membership. Who
Nice.
got lucky? Carmen B received the membership. Yay! That's a free month. Again, Carmen, send me your email address because you'll be able to come to the next meeting, which will be in 2 weeks. And thank you, Jason, very, very much. And that's it. We're gonna go from here because I know that, like I said, Nathe has prior obligations. I have prior obligations. Right now, it's called the bathroom. It's called my bladder's like, let's wrap this up, girl. Come on, get a move on. And
Thank you for
tonight I will
having me,
have.
show. Yes.
You're welcome. Tonight I will have updated pictures and video on the kittens.
Oh,
And
yes.
so my little fur babies, one of them opened his eyes today. So we're like, we got one that's got opened eyes looking around like, oh, what is this? So we were really excited about that. And thank you, Nate, for coming.
Thank you
And,
for having me and all
I
your.
love our collabs. And we will be back on Nate's channel on the 26th.
26th, on the
And
26th.
it'll be a pre-recorded show. We do our deep dives, and it'll be on Nate's channel that we do that. So, yeah, I look forward to. You have to think about who we're going to deep dive on this time. Who knows? We may have a whole new crew of people to look at by that point. It's at the rate they're going. Who can tell? Thank y'all so much for coming and hanging. Sorry we couldn't get to everybody. Um, Like I said, if you're awake at 10 o'clock tonight Central Time, come back for the slumber party and put your question in. And I do 1 card pulls at night, a naughty card or an oracle card. Your decision. You get to pick. And so it's always fun. We do it to have fun. So um, that's the one where you see the content warning for explicit language go up at the beginning of the show. It's like, yeah, we use some bad language in that one. So if you don't like bad language, you may not want to come watch. But if it doesn't bother you, come join us. We have a lot of fun for the slumber party. So um, thank you, Nate, so
You.
much. I love you to death.
Next
Thank you,
time.
thank you, thank you. And we will see y'all soon. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your Independence Day weekend. And I'll see y'all tonight.
Bye.